bit. There. I don't give it slick back. I'm gonna finish my meal first I made. And we'll get to a stream. Hmm. 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 These tacos, these, what you call them? What is it called? Oh man. Oh, a daily login crate. Let's see what we get. Open all. Okay. I know a lot of people wanted me to do it, but okay, let me get Ray set up since I got a new start card for her. I said I was never gonna use start cards. Wow. I made me some sea tacos. I gotta say, Star Wars Episode 8 was lit. I'm gonna do one stream and then I'm gonna hit the bed. I went out a whole lot. Yeah, that's why I'm super hungry. So I wouldn't cook me, I shouldn't be eating on camera, it's disgraceful. But I'm starving, so I made myself a SeaWorld taco. Sushi, shrimp, or any other kind of fish. A bunch of lettuce, tomato, Cajun. The secrets to my dieting program. These kind of taco shells. We need to go back and see Episode 8, Star Wars Episode 8, Last Jedi again. It was lit. Now, we do got some questions about some stuff. Like, I get that some people are upset about Snoke being, you know, killed off early, but if you really go back and look at the original trilogy, same thing happened to Palpatine. If you really look at it. From like a point of view, we didn't know who Palpatine was in the original trilogy, except he was an all-powerful emperor who had ownership of the Vader and the Galactic Empire. And he was also a Senate, you know. And this is from the original trilogy. Now, with all in all, I do gotta say that Snoke got killed by Anakin's lightsaber, thus Anakin did technically bring balance to the Force twice, if you really think about it. Because that was Anakin's lightsaber that split Snoke in half and killed Snoke, you know. Assuming if he's dead, of course. He's not a parasite that took over Kylo. Alright, I'll stop eating right now. I'll take bites a little bit later. But if you really take a good look, if you really go take a good look of everything, I happen to disagree. I think the movie was lit. I happen to disagree with you on that. That's just one thing we'll be disagreeing on. Now, it does take seeing it twice to figure out everything that's going on. For number one, I think if you see it twice, it makes a lot more sense. Now, yes, Rey, I'm not gonna bullshit and lie. Rey did get mysterious powers out of nowhere and did marry Sue. Kylo was more refined and was more masculine than ever, considering he was the one who killed Snoke. You know. Well, if anything, Snoke could be like a parasite. You know. Snoke could be a parasite. He could be like doing what Plagueis is doing. He probably took over Kylo's body, because Kylo still remained evil. Now, it is far different than the other Star Wars movies, but I'm kind of glad that they didn't make Rey a Skywalker. I like that she was a nobody. You know. But you could actually honestly say that Anakin was actually the one who bought, you know, bounced the Force again, because it was actually his lightsaber that pierced Snoke. Even though it was Kylo betraying him, it was Anakin and Luke's lightsaber. The, you know, the iconic blue lightsaber. I don't know. I think the hologram Luke was pretty awesome. I mean, he trolled the mess out of Kylo Ren. You know. I mean, if you really think about it, if you really go into deep details and look at a deeper thing. Now, I understand why they killed Luke Skywalker off. I mean, look at Mark Hamill. He's older. He ain't gonna be able to play Luke Skywalker forever. You know. That is true. That is true. What got Snoke defeated, in a hologram or not, was his arrogance. Like, he thought Kylo would never betray him. See, this is the problem with Palpatine and Snoke that I see that's kind of a stereotype. Is the greater evil dude that controls the galaxy and stuff like that is usually too arrogant for their own good. Snoke's arrogance is the one is what caused that event to happen. You know, Kylo Ren's been struggling with the light and dark for some time, so it is no surprise. You know, I'm gonna be done. I'm trying to be done. I disagree. In this movie, he was more refined than he was, but I disagree with that, bud. That got beat by Yes, in episode 7. You mean in you know, so in episode 7 where Rey beat Kylo. But if you look at Kylo now compared to Force Awakens, you do gotta agree the Kylo in Last Jedi was way better than the Force Awakens. You have to agree right there. You know, he was way better. I mean, he was way better than episode 7. Episode 7, I think they tried too many different things. It was still a pretty good movie, but they tried way too many different things in episode 7. Like, I think it played too much like episode 5 and 4. Like, the beginning part, it was like episode 4, and the ending part was starting episode 5, technically. Because you don't even get to see the hologram of the Emperor until episode 5, if you really look at it. You know, all we know in episode 4 was Darth Vader was a big bad guy. We had to stop Darth Vader. And then, you know, plain and simple. Now, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I'm glad that Rey isn't a Skywalker. I'm glad she isn't. That way it's original, you know? And plus, we already got Skywalker in this generation. We already got Skywalker in this generation. The Skywalker in this generation is Kylo Ren. You know, Ben Solo. You know? We already got Skywalker. You know, already. We don't need any more. You know, we don't need any more. Well, most people get mad at me when I say that Rey isn't... Oh, I did? I thought I got rid of it. Oh, I didn't think of that. You know? But it's like, yeah, but most people would hate me for saying that. But if you really look at it, it's still its own original entity. And I like that it is. It broke the mold of what Star Wars originally was and made, you know, and made it different. It don't feel like I'm watching the same movies. I love Star Wars, but you got to admit the prequels and the original trilogy are too much alike. You got to admit they are. Yes, the prequels lead into the original trilogy. That is true. In every respect, it leads to the same thing. But you got to admit that, you know, some of the concepts were the same. Yeah. Yeah. Just red peppers. Yeah, you already did. Alright. Take it. Everybody wants something from me. But I'm just saying that, you know, that it made it to something else, and I like that. It's different than what it was. It's different than what it used to be. And that's why, I gotta be quite honest. I know you're not gonna like me for this, but I disagree. I thought Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi was a lit movie. Like, out of all the summer movies, this actually did good, you know. Yes, I did.
Target recognized.
You know. But I think, I honestly think this movie was lit for the fact that it was different than what it is. Now, people who complain about the Snoke's death before we got to know who he was. If you didn't remember, Palpatine was the same case in the original trilogy. Hence why we had to make the prequels in the first place. Hence we had to make the prequels in the first place because no one knew very much about Palpatine. We didn't get to know who Vader was before he became Darth Vader. And the prequels did well at that. The prequels did very well at that. You know. Before you say I don't listen to reason, I like the way it's changed. Because then it's something different. It's something new to the table. You know, and again, like I said, I have unpopular opinions. I have opinions that people genuinely hate. You know, people usually compare my movie reviews to my Fabula Crystallis Novia theory videos, you know, where people just don't like it. And that's, and again, to each his own. To each his own, bud. To each his own. You're welcome to dislike what I like. You're welcome to do that. We support free speech. But for anyone to call me a horrible human being because I have opinions on certain things that are controversial, you know, it's stupid, it's retarded, you know. You know, all that matters is I like the movie, and that's all that really matters to me, you know. Not a lot of people will, you know, like the same, but if you really look at it, it was the same in the original trilogy. If you really think about it, it was different in some aspects because we didn't expect Snoke to be killed off until Episode 9. We didn't expect very much. Now, I like that when after Kylo Ren killed Snoke, he was not redeemed. In fact, Kylo Ren was even worse than before. You know, he was eviler than before, and now him being the new Supreme Leader, we're gonna be seeing some changes. Now, it could be a possible fan theory that Snoke probably was a parasite who took over Kylo's body, because Kylo is different than he was in Episode 7, especially at the end of the movie. You know, he's more refined, but still pure evil. So it could be possible that Snoke actually took over Kylo, that's his new vessel. Because Snoke's original vessel, even though he was powerful with the dark side of the Force, you gotta admit his body's weakened. Using too much of the dark side of the Force, whether you're Sith or whether you're like, you know, an acolyte like Snoke is, using too much of it makes you ugly. Because it shows how much you sacrifice to use that power in the first place, you know. I mean, that's why Palpatine looks the way he does. That's why the ancient Sith in the Legends novel and the Legends video games like the Knights of the Republic look ugly, because it messes with your body. Yeah, you get immense power, but at the cost of your physical body, you know. And in fact, there's one Sith in the Old Republic that used the dark sides of the Force so much that he pretty much just become the dark side of the Force. He has no physical body, and he has to absorb the Force through people. And, you know, Darth Nihilus. If anyone remembers the Old Republic. Now, granted, again, like I said, I like stuff that people usually don't like, you know. I usually have that effect on people, and, you know, granted it is. But I really do think the movie was kind of lit. I really think that the movie was super lit, if you ask me. That's why I'm doing a stream on it. It's not going to do justice to do a second review on it. I think Hologram Luke was pretty decent. Now, I think they could have changed some aspects of Luke. Like, I don't think he should have been able to die from that, considering he's one with the Force in the comics. But that's just me. That's just me right here. You know, that's just a Star Wars fan like me talking. That's all that is, really. But if you really go back to looking at it, it's no different than the original trilogy, if you really think about it. Just some concepts are different. And I like that Rey's not a Skywalker. I like it that Rey was not a Skywalker. For once in my life, we actually got an original character. She may be a Mary Sue, but she's a Mary Sue that comes from nothing. And it really helps us relate. You know? It helps. So, if anything, I know this sounds crazy, but if you really think about it, Luke Skywalker in the beginning, Rey in the beginning, are just us. They're pretty much us. The everyday people, the everyday man, the everyday woman, the everyday in-between genders. It don't matter. The everyday person. That's what Rey and the original Luke Skywalker was. If you really think about it. And that's what I liked about, you know, that's why I liked about, you know, Rey not being a Skywalker, because it's also relatable to us. It's also relatable. You know? So pretty much, there's, including everybody. Everybody could be the hero. everybody has great potential. Everybody has the power to do things and make changes. You know? You don't have to be born with special abilities. You know? But if you really think about it, they gave Snoke the Palpatine treatment. But Anakin had you gotta admit, Anakin has balanced the Force, because it was his lightsaber that ended up killing Snoke. But that could be a bad thing, because Snoke could probably took over Kylo. Because Kylo was completely different in the movie. At the end, especially at the end of the movie, like, he's gone through different character changes. And the first movie, Episode 7, he was A-okay, you know. He was A-okay. Too much of a cliche to Anakin's character a little bit, you know. But then again, the beginning movies are gonna start out rough. I mean, you're not, if movies and video games, you're never gonna like the characters when they first come out. You're gonna be the type that looks like, I can't stand them. It's kind of like, I don't know how to put it this way. If in Final Fantasy terms, it's kind of like how I like Snow Villiers closer to the end of Final Fantasy 13 than I did in the beginning. In the beginning, you know, he was just too much. He was too extra. But in the end, you start to like him. That's the kind of character Kylo Ren is. You know, like, you know, he starts out from being like one of the most disliked Star Wars characters to being way better and more refined. I like the Episode 8 Kylo Ren just best, you know, just as it is, just on the fact that, you know, it's different. Because I love the prequels, but let's be quite honest, the prequels, you know, took a little bit more concepts than the new trilogy, if you really think about it. Even though, yes, it goes into it. Yes. Yes.
Don't get sloppy.
No. No. You know, my biggest regret, really, to be quite honest, is messing with thought pockets. That's my biggest regret I've ever done. Especially when I wasted 5 years of my life on one. And I'll never get those 5 years back. Let's be quite honest, I'll never get those 5 years back. You know. It seems everyone around me is just fake, but that's fine. It's kind of what happens when you become a YouTuber and a Twitch streamer. You know, what is actual reality? You know. So I'm gonna be focused on becoming more of a streamer, and I'm gonna get into the eSport when Dissidia comes out. Right now, I'm just doing like random streams. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I wasted too much time trying to put myself in this little fantasy bubble. And at some point, you gotta wake up and realize that, you know, you're wrong about everything you believe in. You're wrong. There was no need for me to fit in. Another thing I regret is trying to fit in. I can't. I'm a nerd. Which, again, you know, I mean, let's just be quite honest. Most of us, when we were in high school, most of us were social rejects. Most of us were social rejects. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I still remember those days playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In the lunch table with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Table. That was my crew. That was my crew, man. You know, that was my everyday crew. Yeah, it's hard to break out of that. I play different characters. But I think those are my two biggest regrets. Is trying to hook up with Instagram thoughts. Number two, trying to fit in.
Here they come.
I'll never be able to fit in. No matter where I go, I'll never be able to fit in. And I realize that. No matter what community I join, I'm just different. I have different ideals than other people. I have different train of thoughts than other people. And people hate that. People hate what's different. They fear what's different. You know. Instead of putting on a mask, I put on your real personality. You wanna become good on Twitch? Be your real self. You know, stop trying to depend on others to help to get you somewhere. Now, granted, you do have to have a clean community. If you have a community full of trolls, then no one's gonna really take you seriously. It's just like if you go around here talking about your baby mama drama 24/7. You know, no one's gonna really want to have much to do with you. I understand. It's, you know. No, there ain't nothing wrong with being weird. I'm gonna say that right now. There ain't nothing wrong. Weird. In fact, weirdness is what I call the new norm. In fact, I'm gonna coin that right now. This is my phrase. This is my phrase. I'm gonna coin that phrase. The new weird. You know, the new norm is being weird. But back to the whole Star Wars thing. You know. It's like people complain about the new Star Wars, but but I got a question. Besides the original trilogy, which the original trilogy is sacred to every Star Wars fan. I mean, I'm trying to be a little honest here. The prequels kind of did the same thing if you really look at it. You talk about Kylo Ren being whiny and you know, whiny all the time. You know. Well, I gotta be quite honest with you, bro. And don't take this the wrong way. I mean, I know this is hard to hear, but I watch some of your streams. You know, I watch some of your streams, and let's just be quite honest, Poopa. Most of your community are trolls. Just to let you know. You know, like at least 57%. I don't know where I come up with that number, but you know, it's just not looking good, bud. I just gotta be quite honest, you know. I'm gonna throw some honesty out. That's why I changed my Twitch name and stuff like that, cause, you know, and what it is I just let anybody in this lobby, and that's the problem. I think what I really need to get is a smaller community. I should stop trying to go big, because I know it sounds crazy, but if to go big on Twitch, completely big, you know, you're gonna attract the trolls. I haven't seen his streams. I haven't seen Mr. Stew's streams. So I can't really say anything. I have not watched him.
I know. May the force be with you.
I haven't watched that. But anyways, back to the whole prequels thing. It's like, before you talk about Kylo Ren being emo, you gotta remember Anakin Skywalker in the prequels was kind of emo. Let's just be 100%. Let's get to the 100% thing right here. It's, you know, I don't think there is a perfect job. But I know for like movie stuff, yes, this works. As fan stuff, I don't know. Because most people go to the consult the comics, the Legends novels, and video games. And whatever fan you are, you're a fan of it. I can't tell you what to think, but for my personal self, I think Episode 8 was good. It's not perfect. Was it perfect? No. Hell no, it's not perfect. No Star Wars movie is perfect. Even Episode 5, and I loved Episode 5. You know. But I think it was good. It reached my personal expectations. As a fan, not a reviewer. You know, I thought Kylo was a good villain. I mean, especially at the end, because you didn't expect any of the stuff he was doing. And I like that you don't expect it. I'm one of those people that like it when it's unexpected, because then it keeps me, it keeps me entertained. You know, I don't want to pay the. I'm sorry, I don't want to have the same story over and over. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be able to predict the movie. And with episode 8, I couldn't predict a thing. I didn't know Snoke was gonna die early. I didn't know there was even going to be a lightsaber fight between Luke and Kylo Ren. And I never even knew Kylo was going to stay on the dark side after defeating Snoke. It was something different. And it brought, and it brought change. It's not the same thing. I get tired of watching the same thing. I'm just one of those people that's like, you could at least change up what you're doing. You could change up what you're doing. You know what? No one ever plays Darth Maul. Should I do Maul or Vader? I played Vader enough. We need to give Maul some love. Nobody gives Maul love anymore. I'll be the one playing Darth Maul. It's just a complete change, and I like that change a lot better than having the same static thing over and over. I love the prequels, but the prequels kind of repeated just a little bit. The only thing prequels did introduce that the original trilogy never had was midichlorians, which is an interesting concept, but I can't see midichlorians carrying over into any future Star Wars stuff. It was a good concept when it lasted. It was a good concept while it lasted. And that's what I like about it. It was something way different. One of my rules is one of my rules of life is be yourself. Don't change who you are for somebody else. If they can't accept you for who you are, then they're trash. They're trash community. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. Our trash community. And trash needs to be put in a dumpster. Straight up. If you can't get someone who can accept you and love you for who you are, then you don't really need them. You gotta be all about self. That's just reality. You gotta be all about self, though. You really gotta be all about self. You can't be this whole, person that gives too much of a shit what other people think. I lived my whole life like that. That's why I was miserable. Because I try to fit in. I even try to when I did my mixtapes, I even try to copy other, I even try to copy other rappers because it was the style, instead of developing my own style and my own expertise. And my new music, it sounds way better because, yeah, sure, maybe I could probably scream more and sing because I'm terrible at singing, but at least it sounds like something I would make. It sounds legitimate. It sounds completely legitimate. It's not copying anybody. That's why I said you gotta get to a point where you stop thinking about and care about what other people think. Because trends are gonna be what they are, trends. Exactly. I mean, if you listen to my older mixtapes and my new stuff, it sounds completely different. I feel like I've created my own style. Like, now things sound better, and that's because I'm doing things for myself. I'm not trying to follow a trend. I'm not trying to follow... I tried so hard to be something I'm not. And it's like, at the same time, you'll never grow anywhere until you start being your true self. You know, for a long time, I love people. For a long time, I cared so much about what other people thought. You know, I cared so much because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be this #1. I wanted to be popular. Well, let me tell you, popularity is overrated. There was actually one high school year where I was a popular kid. I was a popular kid in, let's see, junior year. Yeah. I tried to be a popular kid like the junior year. Yeah, it was junior year. I hanged out with the popular kids. I forgot how I got popular, but I was a popular kid once, and was like, you're only gonna be popular till someone outdoes you, till someone outgrows you, and then someone actually outdoes you in everything you do. That's why I think getting big is kind of overrated. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to be able to make money off Twitch one day. But if it don't happen, I don't care. I'm doing all this stuff for a hobby. This stuff is only a hobby to me. I'm doing it for the love. This is a hobby. You know, all this stuff I'm doing on YouTube, it's a hobby. Even my music stuff, it's only a hobby. And I only take it as a hobby. I don't really take myself seriously anymore. I used to, but you know, I don't see a point to do that. Now with episode 8, the complaint is Phasma got beat the worst way. But then again, are you surprised? Captain Phasma was pretty much Boba Fett, a female version of Boba Fett. Yeah, are you really surprised that she got beat easily? Because Boba Fett got beat super easily in episode 6. You know. There are some concepts that are the same, and there are some concepts that are different. That's what makes episode 8 wonderful or controversial. Because it was its own thing. That's why I liked about it. Is it was its own thing. It wasn't trying to live up to the other movies. You know. I think if you try to live up to your older art, then you're come to the wrong place. You'll never going to live up to your old art. You're never going to live up to your old art form. You know why? Because you're a different person when you made that art form. You're a completely different person. You know, or a different entity. You know, and since Star Wars is bought by Disney, of course Star Wars is going to be different, of course. You know, are we all surprised? We act like this is a surprise. Like this shocks us. Most of us like it, most of us hate it, for one reason or another. But one thing you gotta admit, it made us feel something. It made us feel something. And that's the most important thing, is making you feel something. That's what art is about. It's about making you feel something. Hate it or love it is inconsequential. Consequence, you know. You know. I'm gonna play Phasma one more time because it's inconsequential. You know. That's what the true meaning of art is. The true meaning of art is it's something to make you feel something. Whether you love it or hate it, the idea is to make you feel. You know, it's there to make you feel something. Art could be beloved or it could be offensive. But it depends on the person's eyes. And who's willing to see. You know what? I'll play Vader since nobody's playing Vader. Nobody's playing Vader, so this is actually pretty good. But I like the way it turned out. Nonetheless, I like the way episode 8 turned out, and I thought it was good based off of those principles. It changed things a little bit. but while also keeping some of the same concepts. You know, Kylo Ren improved as a character. You know, Rey wasn't a complete Mary Sue. She actually got training from Luke, a little bit of training. And it made sense. It made sense to the canon lore. Now, granted, yes, it's nothing like the comics. Granted, it's nothing like the comics, but see, that's where people misunderstand. Disney bought Star Wars. It's never going to be what George Lucas wanted. The prequels weren't supposed to be the prequels, if you know what I mean. The prequels are supposed to be completely different than what they were in on movie. On movie, you know, the movie and comic book concepts are two different things. They're two different sources of media. Okay. Like Mara Jade Skywalker, she's comic books only. Rey and Kylo Ren are movie-only characters. Even though they appear in this video game, they're still movie-only characters. Let's see. Darth Revan and one girl from the Old Republic are from video games only, and maybe a few novels that follow up on the game. But nonetheless, people don't understand media does change because it's put under a developer, and when you're put up on another developer, you can't get surprised that there's gonna be changes in there. Granted, I know this is hypocritical because this is from the same guy who bashed the Justice League movie pretty hard. But, you know, nonetheless, it did make me feel something, and that's really something that truly matters. As a true artist, I would actually understand, you know. Now, it did keep some concepts, like Snoke dying the way he did, and we didn't get to know much about Snoke. We never got to know much about Palpatine until the prequels came. We never got to know who Palpatine was until the prequels came, until the prequels actually shed light on that subject. Hell, we didn't even get to know what Darth Vader was when he was a Jedi until the prequels. We didn't get to know. No matter how much corporations taint a franchise, you know, it's just a little change in it. Continuity changes on the big screen from what it's originally. If you really think of it, Kylo Ren is actually Jason Solo, or his Sith name, Darth Caedus, and Supreme Leader Snoke really is that female Sith. You know, comic book wise, you know. But I think people misunderstand and get lost in their own translation. But to be a true fan is to like all aspects, not just a dog narrow view of what something should be. A true fan sticks to glue on the stuff that they're fans of, you know, and understand the changes, you know.
Your plan has been thwarted.
You know. In this world, you gotta take risk. You can't just keep writing the same thing over and over because it sells good. That's been done like over 1 million times already. In fact, it's lazy writing to do that. So that's what I like about episodes 7 and 8. It's not lazy writing. It was its own entity, but while also following continuity. You know. Even though it's the only source of canon material because the comics are no longer canon. The novels are now what they call legends. But I still read Legends. I don't care what people do. I still read Legends. I'm still reading Tarkin novel. I'm still like reading the Tarkin novel. Currently still. I don't know what chapter I'm stuck on. But I'm stuck on a chapter in the Tarkin novel, which is a Legends novel. And then I got the older Legends novel where Han Solo and Leia have kids. And then they get trained into a Jedi. Which again, Jason Solo is actually Ben Solo, if you really take a good look at it. You know. But that's, you know, as a fan. Now, there are things we have to call out. Let's just be quite honest. There are things you have to say and make a statement about till things get better. But the way I see things in my viewpoint, I didn't think they can do The Last Jedi any better. Except maybe have Luke have his green lightsaber, explain a little bit of who Snoke was, show the training between Kylo Ren and Snoke, and the training with Luke and Rey. You know, they could. I'm just saying they could do that. That'd be helpful. That would actually be helpful. I'm getting really tired though. I'm not gonna lie. But I wanted to do this straight to talk about the movie. Oh yeah, and I guess the only thing I will say is a drawback for Episode 8 that could be used as a double negative is the Rose and Finn arc. I think that was dragged out too long to give the movie a little bit longer time period. You know. I think they could have done without that. They could have done way better without, you know. I guess someone wants to be Han. Fine. I'll be Finn. It don't matter. Don't matter. Yeah, I'm getting really sleepy. I'm gonna at least carry out at least a couple of games of heroes versus villains. I'm gonna tag out. I was out the whole night. Went to see Star Wars Episode 8 2 times. Me and Taylor love the movie. YouTube, I guess one more game because this is gonna take long. Alright, you could hop off Finn. I'm Finn. You can hop off Finn. Let me at least take my clothes off a little bit. I also got a $2 Hellstorm t-shirt. Oh, you like those kind of bands with girl vocals? You're so gay. I don't care. I like what I like. You know, I like what I like. If you don't like it, it's just too bad. You ain't gonna get me to change my mind. I like punk and rock music. And a little bit of rap, depending on who the artist is. I don't really like every SoundCloud rapper out there because not every SoundCloud rapper sounds good to me. It may sound good to other people, but not to me. That's just me, though. You know. Like, I don't like Lil Xan. I really don't like Lil Xan. I think Lil Xan's music's kind of trash. And he's a wannabe. But that's just me. Other people will enjoy it though. We need one more player. Alright, I'm gonna play one more round of this, then I really gotta get to sleep. I'm getting super tired and I gotta put my dishes up. Let's getting real late. I just wanted to talk about Star Wars stuff, and then I got distracted. You know.
Good versus evil, life versus dark, heroes versus villains. Who's gonna win? Target located.
Bad idea.
Skywalker, his anger sets the better from
Just a matter of time.
I don't try to act like a smart guy though. I just understand some people vibe with you and some people don't. That's why I said there is actually no actual reason to fit in with the crowd. There's actually no reason to, because let's just be on the real, you know. Some people vibe with you, some people don't. It's just how the world is, man. It's how the world is. You know. But I do gotta play all my games fast. I have other games I need to stream before Dissidia comes out, because I'm going to be dedicating my whole life on trying to be an e-sport level Dissidia player.
This guy just wants
So that's coming out. Oh, that's my team. Fuck, they gained up on me. Did someone just use the episode 8 skin? I wish I could get it, but I didn't pre-order the game, so it's kind of what I get.
target recognized.
By the way, I always shoot first. I always shoot first. Cause oh, come on. Hey, I'm doing poorly. That means I need to get to bed. That's when I know I need to stop. When my gameplay is so garbage. And this time I can't blame teammates. This is all me. I apologize to my team for sucking. I just want to do a stream talking about Star Wars stuff. That's what I really care about. I'm not trying to be competitive, but teammates, I'm sorry. I fucked up. Please forgive me. I just, you know, there's a voice in my head tells me to stop playing the game right now. Play it the next day. Because I'm having one of those days. I'm having one of those noob days. I'm starting to act more like a noob, you know. I think once that reached to the hour thing, I'm gonna play Lando a little bit more. I think what they need to do for episode 9 is bring out Lando. Hopefully that episode 9 ends up being a time skip a little bit. If it's not 3 months down the line, maybe a couple of years, I don't know. An older Kylo Ren who's a supreme leader. You know, older Rey. I mean, come on, let's be honest. We want an older Rey. We want an older Rey. Rey is Bae, after all. Let's see. And, you know, now I think it'd be a cop-out if we find out Finn's actual parents were Lando Calrissian. You know. That's why I can't get mad at Rey's background. I really can't. Because at the same time, it changed things to show us that, you know, we're all Luke Skywalker. We're all Rey. We're We're all important in some way or fashion. We're the hero.
We haven't met, have we?
Oh, I just defeated a Collar Ren. Okay. Let's see if I can defeat them all. Damn. Okay, I'm doing a little bit better. I'm doing a little bit better. Just a little bit. Of course, that Palpatine has to do that stupid lightning stuff. Fuck that. Or I'm gonna be attacking that Palpatine. And now he's coming after me. Good. Come on. Well, I lost. That means get off the lobby. It's like, Devin, get off the lobby. Your ass. Your game is ass, brother. Your game is ass. Can't blame the teammates on this one. Game's ass. In fact, this gameplay is more ass than you see in a strip club. Just saying. Like, it smells more like sweaty butts than the ones in the strip club. Like, it's putrid smell. Okay. Yeah. But I'm gonna get me some loot boxes. I need to get me some loot boxes. Before I hit the bed, I need them loot boxes. And then I need to do my dishes because I have a lot of dishes from my tacos I made. I do admit my game is ass. No one needs to tell me that. I already know it is. Thank you for the concern, brother. But I think I got this. I got this. I got this. I know I got this. Let's see what we get. Oh, a level 2 Darth Vader. Not bad. Oh. I need to start putting more star cards on some of the characters I got. Just to fill up the time, I think that's what I'll do. I don't care about the weapons right now. I'm gonna give myself a better weapon. I can't do it, huh? Change victory pose. Okay. I don't think there's anything for oh. What do you know? I was wrong. Well, I don't like the officers' guns. Can I get a better gun? No, I can't. Okay, I'm gonna modify my... you can't modify your own version? Damn. What kind of shit is that? Is that Kylo's? That's Kylo's, isn't it? Oh yeah, that is. Well, may the crystal be with you. Thank you for coming on here. And thank you for sitting there watching a guy collect loot boxes, because that's pretty much what I'm known for. Thank you for sticking around even though my game was ass. May the crystal be with you. May the Kyber crystal be with you since I'm playing a Star Wars game. You know.